Mortal Kombat X has DLC and microtransactions. Fuck. I did not think this was going to happen. I knew the DLC was going to be a thing. For those of you who don't know, Mortal Kombat X just came out, and there's a lot of expandable content that just for the just the in-game content. Okay, it's about $120 when it's all said and done between the game and the DLC. And I gotta be honest, it's not that bad. It's about the same we dealt with WWE 2K15. And in the case of WWE 2K15, with the season pass, I paid about $100, and that covered everything except for 3 character expansions, which I would argue not everyone's going to want. Case in point, the WCW one with Lex Luger, I'm not particularly interested in it. Or the NXT one I didn't buy, I think it was. I did buy the WCW, it was the NXT one I didn't buy. But it gives me some choice. Although when you buy a season pass, you expect it to come with everything. I did get my money's worth in that case, and one of the things that came with that season pass is you unlock everything. It's a free accelerator. That was a nice touch, and I could choose to use it. I didn't automatically get everything. So that was a nice thing. And with Mortal Kombat X, it's pretty much the same thing, where if you buy all the DLC, you can unlock everything, and just like that. And there's additional things you can unlock in the game. That by itself, I don't care. I that's fine. It really is. I do remember a time when you unlock things in a game by playing it, and that was that. I also remember a time when you paid $60 for a game. Oh wait, that's been forever. Which brings me to my point here. Game publishers need to make money. Their whole point is to make money. Whether we like that or not, that is the goal of entertainment. As an industry, it's an industry. You have to make a profit. And the value of the American dollar has been steadily decreasing for a very long time. At a minimum 10 years. Longer than that, really. And as long as I know, from Atari all the way up, games have been $50 to $70 in cost. Well, so by itself, when you're telling me it takes 60 of these pieces of paper to buy this, which are valued less than they were before, that means my profit margin has to be higher in order to make back my money. On top of the fact that my production costs have now increased exponentially. You know, Super Mario Brothers took a team of maybe 15 people at most, maybe, to do, and whether the overhead's the same otherwise, a team of 15 people will always be less expensive than a team of 50 or 100. Okay, costs are up, the price stays the same, the value of the dollar goes down. You got to make your profit somewhere, and I'm not saying that I condone this means of it, but I do understand it. It's a shitty thing. I would almost rather pay $80 to $90 for the game and have the whole thing, and then have optional stuff be off to the side. Like, if you give me a $20 season pass with an $80 game, and that's got like all the optional stuff like costumes and shit, totally cool. But for the $80 I get every character in the game and all that stuff, I'm down for that. It's a great idea. You know, I'm not keen on paying that much for a game, but I also understand that one way or the other, we're going to pay them. It's going to happen. You don't have a choice in that matter. It's not the amount of money we're paying that we should be upset about. It's how they're going about getting that money. That's the problem, in my opinion. Where I do take a stance on is there's this easy fatality system, and you use a token every time you use an easy fatality, and those cost money. So let's say you want to do an easy fatality 20 times in a row. It may cost you a couple bucks to do that, which is... I understand it, because you don't want just anyone to be able to use them all the time, because that would be kind of a kick in the face of someone who actually learns the fatalities in the game. I do understand that, okay? The question just becomes, what's the alternative here? I don't know that there is a feasible way to implement these easy fatalities without someone getting burned. But I do think that it's a really low blow to constantly have a microtransaction attached to it. Like, maybe if you paid $10, $15, maybe $5 per character for unlimited. And that's a gouge. That's a huge gouge. Okay? There's a lot of characters in that fucking game. But I think that would be less of a burn than what the current model is. I don't know what the right answer is, so don't take me as saying that. I'm simply saying that the microtransaction thing is an awful idea. It's a bad precedent. It needs to stop. I'm also saying that game development costs are up. Profit is down just based on value of the dollar alone. Okay, we have to understand as a culture that, for us to keep getting these games, they have to make money. We have to understand and embrace that. And instead of saying, oh, this is all horrible, we need to partner with these companies and tell them what we think would be fair. Because just simply saying it's wrong, they've got to make their money. And if we don't tell them what we think is fair, we're going to keep getting raw deals. So instead of just saying, oh, this is horrible, Ed Boon, say, Ed, I really don't like this idea. Here's a different way you could have tried it. Is there a reason we didn't try that? Let's open a discussion here. Because if we just keep going with this us against them bullshit, it's just all going to fall. It's all going to fail. And I don't think any of us wants that. So that is my question to you guys. Should game prices raise slightly and the season pass structure change? Should DLC as an entire thing change? Is there a totally new way of looking at it? Because the thing we have to remember, there are people out there that buy the base game and never buy DLC. And if everyone did that, budgets for games might go down. I don't know that for certain, but I'm willing to bet that they would. But unless a huge number of people stop participating, it's not going to change. And I'm telling you, with AAA games, the reason they're called AAA is because a ton of motherfuckers buy them. So what is the alternative here? What's another way? What's the discussion we can have about this? Okay, it's undeniable that the industry's going in a different direction here. DLC is over a decade old. I'll never forget the day it started. Halo 2 multiplayer map pack for the Xbox. That was the first time. It wasn't even DLC, you just bought the disc. Okay? And that was retail. It was $20, you bought it in store, and everyone was excited about it. It was all downhill from there, guys. And that's been over 10 years now. So, honestly, it's not a matter of whether or not additional content is a thing. It's always going to be a thing. You're always going to be able to expand your gameplay, and that's a good thing. But how do we support the economics of it without getting fucked? Tell me below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Tickle that like button. And as always, keep on grinding. Cheers.